HGW coming to you live once again. Got another video announcement. Today marks the 33rd anniversary of the little film called The Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club is a 1980s coming-of-age comedy directed by John Hughes. Stars Anthony Michael Hall, Molly Ringwald, Emilio Estevez, and Judd Nelson. This thing is a classic. If you haven't seen it, it's about 5 kids that spend a day in detention together. And they go in total strangers. They come out knowing everything about them because they not only sacrificed an entire Saturday. Yeah, like who would go to detention on a Saturday today, right? But they not only sacrificed an entire Saturday, but they've also sacrificed their souls. And they laid it bare for everybody else to see. And it's a very good film. I mean, honest to God. The other person who was in the movie was Paul Gleason. Paul Gleason had passed away some time ago, but this is the role he'll be remembered for. When you watch the film, one of the things that makes this film great is that Judd Nelson's character, John Bender, butts heads with Paul Gleason's character, who was the principal. I forget whatever they named him. I forget his name in the film. But it is fun to watch because those two go at it tooth and nail the entire movie. It's almost like John Bender, Judd Nelson's character. You know, he has a tough exterior, but once you crack through that, there's a different person there. And I think the film tells us that, you know, once you tap through that exterior, you know, that brick wall, there is somebody else. And it could be any of us. We could be, you know, scared or lonely, or we could be, you know, full of joy. But as long as we don't let anyone in, how are people supposed to know you? The film's 33 years old, as I said. But they'll probably put out a 33rd anniversary. But I have the 30th anniversary edition Blu-ray. Okay, I bought this, like I said, 3 years ago. You can tell. But what it has a trivia track, which basically covers, I would think, everything from filmmaking to set lighting to casting. A 12-part documentary, which again probably covers everything from casting to, you know, the finished product. The origins of the Brat Pack. The origins of the Brat Pack. Now, a lot of people hear the word Brat Pack and they don't know what it is. The Brat Pack was a term given to a flock of actors. You know, Judd Nelson, Emilio Estevez, Andrew McCarthy, you know, Demi Moore, Anthony Michael Hall. Basically, if you were in a John Hughes film and you were a young teen who was in movies like that, you were given the moniker the Brat Pack. So it's an 80s thing. It is now since fizzled out, but it was an 80s thing back in the day, and it was huge. They said Brat Pack, and, you know, fans flocked to the theater. They couldn't get enough of it. The DVD or Blu-ray also includes the theatrical trailer, which is your standard, you know, trailer. It's pretty good. Now, I heard Criterion has put out a Super Criterion Special Edition. This thing has rumored to have over an hour and a half of deleted scenes. I would love to see them. I really would. But I don't have that copy, and because it's not at your local Walmart. I've been waiting for it to drop, and it hasn't dropped. But as far as The Breakfast Club goes, this is a definite movie that defined the 80s. It has your top stars. It has great 80s music. Like I said, you know, the music is awesome. The song by Simple Minds, Don't You Forget About Me. You watch the movie and you cannot not help but think, you know, at the end where Ali Sheedy's character gives the earring to Judd Nelson's character. And that was pretty cool. You know, that was a moment. So again, you know, I just want to say, you know, happy birthday to the Breakfast Club, and I want to thank John Hughes for putting out one of the best coming-of-age comedies of all time. One little interesting fact about this film and Weird Science is the fact that in the film, there's a scene where they're all sitting around, they're getting high in the film. And Anthony Michael Hall gets high and he says something like, "Chicks cannot hold the smoke. That's what it is." Right? And if you watch Weird Science, when Anthony Michael Hall gets drunk, he talks the exact same way he did in The Breakfast Club. A lot of not fans pick up on that. But when you see it, it's just an interesting little thing. Now, I don't know if those films, if John Hughes wanted Anthony Michael Hall to do that, just to kind of link them together and say, hey, you know, these are the group of pictures, this is just his trademark, or what. But it is interesting to see. And like I said, do yourself a favor. Spend a Saturday, not in detention, but watching The Breakfast Club. Do yourself a favor. And GW, I'm GW. That's my video pick of the week. You keep watching. I'll keep reviewing.